The Cypher Boys, a show about two misfit space haulers barely getting by. Follow them in their pursuit of happiness towards catching their first big break, using a spaceship that almost falls apart while they dodge space pirates and carry precious cargoes for contracts with incredibly bad terms. This is a highly improvised Cypher game. The space physics probably make no sense and we make a lot of mistakes towards the rules set by Monty Cook Games. But just like the Cypher Boys, we don't really care. Welcome to the first episode of the Cypher Boys, a Cypher actual game that we're recording. It might be complete shit because this is the first time that I'm doing, but it is the game where I get to drink tea or coffee and the players get to make random shit up on the fly. And it is about two misfit brothers or friends, whatever they are, on a spaceship who run a cipher hauling business. So what they do is they haul magic items, ciphers, from one planet to other planets, from spaceships to spaceships, from places, sometimes legal places and sometimes illegal places, to other legal or illegal places. They barely get by. Their spaceship is somewhat falling apart. It reminds you more of the Millennium Falcon than it reminds you of the Starship Enterprise. But without further ado, who are you guys? I'm gonna start with Lucan Hanali, who is my friend from Belgium. By the way, we're also three Europeans with really bad English accents. So you just have to deal with that, or just not watch this actual play or listen to this actual play. Lucan, who are you? Well, Fred, who are you? Tell me about your character and what you do on the spaceship. On the spaceship is really important.
Hi, so I'm playing Lucan Hanali. He's 30-something dude. That's actually the pilot, and also in his spare time, the crew engineer. He has one synthetic leg. He lost that while hauling in some cargo that fell off.
Oh, we got a peg-leg pirate on the spaceship. Perfect. So you are the pilot of the ship. You have a pilot license and skill and everything going on your character sheet, so you know how to actually fly.
He has.
So
that he has a license.
Does the spaceship? Two questions. Does the spaceship have a name? Your company name, of course, is Cypher Boys, which is completely silly and a really bad name for a company. But there's also companies that are called the Mario Brothers. So, hey, I mean, if you want to be the Cypher Boys, you're the Cypher Boys. So what's the name of your starship? And does the artificial intelligence, quote-unquote artificial intelligence, on your spaceship have a name? It's a female voice, by the way.
Oh. I'm not sure if we have named her yet, the AI, but the ship is named Humphrey.
Humphrey. So your ship is named Humphrey. Okay, perfect. Then the AI, I will come up with a name for that for the AI then. So then we are going to the next player, who is my friend, not from Portugal, but and also a little bit from there, but also from Germany. This is Cassia, and who are you playing? Tell me about your character.
And also from Brazil.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I forgot about that. From everywhere.
Don't worry about that. So my bad accent is actually South American. I'm playing Regulo Maximus, but most people will call me Max or Maximus. He's a very young, not a very young boy. He's young. He's in the beginning of his 20s. Very thin guy. Also, he thinks he's very stealthy, but he's also very clumsy. So sometimes he stumbles around. The funny thing about him is he has very black hair, but his hair changes colors with his mood.
Oh, wow. So when he's pissed, he becomes red, and when he's in a good mood, he becomes blue. And there's no explanation for that, probably, but that's the setting we're playing in. So, okay, and what is your job on the ship, basically?
I don't know what my job was.
everything
I help
but
carrying
piloting.
stuff around.
Yeah. So there is a turret on the ship. So in combat situations, you might be the person who goes into the turret. So I'm also going to give you the skill of actually shooting a turret when you're in it. So to ease those jobs for you. So you can write that on your character sheet later or whatever. I'll remember it, no problem. So from the artwork you gotten from your spaceship, you can see it is this combination between it's a general purpose spaceship, but it can also has space on the outside to carry two containers around. And I will be showing the artwork in the video later. I'll be editing that in. So the people who are watching right now can see that it carries two big containers around on the outside. The reason for that, there's a few reasons for that. The first, now the containers on the photo, they look like the shipping containers we know in the real world, but these are actually way bigger. They're like 4 or 5 times bigger than the shipping containers we know. Ciphers in this world are known to act a little bit crazy, especially when brought close together. They can do all kinds of random stuff and have random effects that you don't want to happen inside a spaceship, right? So that's something you don't want. And that's why the containers are on the outside. Also, one of the reasons of them being on the outside is your ship has a few functions. I want to talk about the functions of your ship really quickly. First of all, it can release the containers. That will put a bounty on your head because you just lost a very precious cargo. But you can, as a defensive mechanism, you can release the containers. You have a turret that you can shoot. And I'm also adding red line maneuvers from the book The Stars Are Fire, this book from Montague Games, which are red line maneuvers, which we will get into whenever we need it. I think Lucan, our pilot, already knows about those because he reads the books cover to cover. But right now, we are, just to talk about the setting a little bit, we're playing kind of even more in the future than Numenera. Numenera is set 1 billion years in the future on Earth, and we're talking about the 9th civilization. 1 billion years in the future, there is a 9th civilization who is basically a fantasy civilization. Like, they're still in like the beginning parts of the civilization, but there's like races and some magic going on. But they also find all kinds of random stuff from the other 8 civilizations that lived before them. And what we know about those 8 civilizations is that one at least had space travel, one at least had, I don't know, dinosaurs, the other one at least had Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and all of that stuff. And all of that combined, this 9th civilization is uncovering ruins and magic items and dungeons with this stuff in it. So you're now hundreds of years further than where Numenera is set, the book from Montague Games Numenera is set, because you now have space travel. You have all of that stuff going on. Nobody really understands how it works and why it works, because people are not yet smart enough to have figured that out. There are just a group of people, among them, who know how to use it, right? So that's basically how it works, and there's a lot of stuff going on. So we play in the same star system. We have the sun, we have Earth, which is the 9th world, we have Jupiter, we have Venus, we have Mars, we still have the Europe, which is the moon of the other planet. We have all of that stuff still going on, and Pluto is still hanging there, not being a planet. Just minding his own business, scratching behind his ears, in that belt of what you would call it. And you guys have an entire hall of ciphers in your cargo area, which are just 2 containers on the side of your plane, right? And you pick them up from nothing else, of course, than Venus. Venus is the 2nd planet from the sun, and also the hottest planet we know. It is still the hottest planet, although it is the 2nd from the sun. It is the hottest. It has to do with green gases and all that stuff. But you picked it up not from the surface because nobody can walk that surface. You picked it up from like a spaceship, a space station that orbits it. It's just an entire corporation that kind of wants you to bring it to Earth. And it's a few weeks travel back from Venus all the way to Earth, which is the night world. And you are in those situations right now where you are absolutely bored out of your mind. Right? The artificial intelligence is kind of on autopilot. Every now and then she's like, so Lucan, should I adjust 2 degrees to the left, or should I keep this heading going and collide with the asteroid that I'm detecting? That's basically what she says, and then you give her an input. You probably tap the left button on your keyboard 2 times, tap, tap, and then it just goes 2 degrees to the left, something like that. So you are basically in the starship in those moments where your job gets really, really, really boring. By the way, this is the kind of spaceship it is like an RV in space, right? So you live in this. It has sleeping quarters. It has a kitchen, but it's also small-ish. So it's a complete mess, probably, right? So there's pans there and other underpants there and a set of goggles there, and there's just a cup of Coke on the dashboard, and a wobble hat of a stormtrooper, which you don't know what it is, but you found it, right? It's like a bubble hat just on the dashboard, just going ding, ling, 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 ling. So that's there on the dashboard. So what is something your character would be doing right now in this spaceship?
So Lucan has a deck of cards, and he tries to come up every time with a new game to play with Max. The only rule he has is he has to win. Whatever the game is, he has to win. That's the only consistent rule of all the games he plays. He almost never wins.
Maximus is too smart for you.
But he has to win. Yeah, it's like Max has an edge over him somehow.
Maybe he uses magic to cheat.
Maximus, what's something you would be doing on the spaceship in like one of these boring moments?
I would probably be playing with Lucan, or looking outside the windows, admiring the stars and the emptiness of the universe.
Yeah, perfect. Because that really sets the tone for like the boring side of space travel, right? Like a movie like Interstellar really puts it really well. Like sometimes you have these long shots and you're like, this is getting quite boring, but that's the point of the movie. Sometimes it needs to get boring to really feel like what space travel kind of is. Now you're saying you're looking through the windows. You don't have a lot of windows. You have one big window in the cockpit, right, which is like somewhat of a cockpit, but it's also a bridge which has these 2 very comfortable lounge chairs in front of a big window right next to each other. The left side chair is always for Lucan, the pilot. Pilot sits on the left side. Now, of course, if there's piloting maneuvers and everything you need to do, you know how to do it, Lucan. But if there's more difficult maneuvers you need to do, or fly in heavy storms in space or whatever, or asteroid fields, and there is a person next to you in the co-pilot seat, then all of your tasks are eased one more step for you, just to put it in a rules thing. So if you have a co-pilot, because they can hold like the speed lever and you're just holding like the wheel and you're like no, and then you speed up and you speed down and you do all this crazy stuff, you get this co-pilot flipping switches, acting like they know what they're doing, but actually they're just doing what you're saying that they're doing. Behind the chairs is a big table which has a projected version of your spaceship, and kind of like a 3-dimensional rear view camera you got on a Tesla car, right? So you can see a few kilometers around your ship. It just projects, oh, there's a rock here or there's something here. It's really handy for when you're parking or docking in a spaceship and stuff like that. And behind that is a door that just automatically opens and closes when you go near it. And then there's the rest of the spaceship, which has like engine stuff to work on the engines, you can go inside the containers if you wanted to. They're connected in a way that there's a door. Don't go inside the containers if somebody's bound is going to release them. That would end up being really shitty for the game. But other than that, right now I'm gonna say, Maximus, you're somewhere in the back of the spaceship. You might be fiddling a little bit with like some of the equipment. There's some of the equipment that needs like an oil change or whatever, basic maintenance that you just know how to do because you've been in the spaceship for so long. So you're all the way in the back where these two big engines are. Lucan, you are playing a card game. Like, you're putting cards on the dashboard, right where the buttons are. You're just putting cards there, and you're basically playing a version of what's a game called Solitaire. Is that the right name in English?
Yep.
Yeah, you're playing. Yes. You actually are inventing that game right now, reinventing it. You don't know it already existed like a billion years ago, but you're inventing that. So you're playing that game with yourself right now. And at a certain point in time, you got like your systems. There's like this radar kind of thingy here, and there's some lights there, and there's some other stuff there, and you could swear it just goes off and on again for like a nanosecond. I wanted to say a parsec, but that's a unit of distance, not a unit of time. So a nanosecond. That's what you see. I just had to turn off my my heater here. It's getting really warm.
Okay. I look if the AI is still up. She's still up.
Hi, Lucan.
Hi.
What can I do for you?
Did you notice just something? Were you offline for like a split second?
I cannot say I did. I cannot say I was. Is there something wrong, Lucan?
No, I think I just saw something, but it could be my imagination.
And then after a while, you really notice that it goes like, and it goes just off, on, and then after even a little bit longer, a few seconds longer, interrupt me if you want to do anything, by the way.
Yeah, I want to do it. I have an ability for spacecraft maintenance, and I want to roll to see if there is something horribly wrong, which you are probably just describing.
You can make me an intellect check, and let's say to figure out what's the source of what is. Let's say it's difficulty 5. Because it is really something you've never seen, which is a 15, but you can of course ease it because you have the skill, or apply effort in order to ease it even further.
Yeah, I'm going to apply 1 level of effort.
Okay, perfect.
And I'm going to use my spacecraft maintenance and repair.
Yeah, so you have, that makes it a difficulty 3 if I'm not mistaken, so you have to roll 9 right now.
Yeah. And that's a 10.
That's a 10? Okay, so you know that this, so you've asked the AI to see if she notices, I'm going to say she because she has a female voice, she notices anything, and she doesn't. So you know it is something probably with the power input. Something is messing with the power input, by which I mean that if the power is down, the AI is also down, and you kind of figure out that if the AI is down, she doesn't notice that she's down, right? That's why artificial intelligence kind of sucks, because they are as intelligent as long as the battery remains running. But it's also something you have never seen, and then you are like pushing buttons and checking some gauges, right? And then you see even more, you see sparks coming out of your dashboard, like real electricity sparks just coming out of the inside of some of the buttons you use for flying the planes. And yeah, you're sitting really close, but you haven't touched it yet or anything, so nothing really happens unless you want to touch it or whatever.
Do we have an intercom?
Yes, you can communicate with each other through like an intercom, and you have an intercom which goes through the entire spaceship system, which is like this old crappy thing against the wall that you need to push. Like, are you there? And then Maximus needs to run towards the intercom, and you even somewhere, you don't know where you put it exactly, but somewhere in a closet you got something you found, which are basically two devices that you can, with an antenna, that you can use to talk to each other. But only when you push a button, you can talk to each other, and it goes, and then you talk, and then again, and when you release it, and yeah, but you don't know where you put it because you didn't find a use for it really because you have the intercom. But that's kind of like a backup thing that you have. I don't know if they're charged or anything, but you have them somewhere.
Okay, and is the intercom sparkling?
No, the intercom is actually looks pretty perfectly fine.
Okay, I'm going to hit it. I'm going to say, Maximus, what are you doing?
I run.
Maximus runs towards.
Hi, I was checking the engine. Is everything all right?
Okay, Maximus, when you press the intercom button, you can make me a speed defense roll of difficulty, I'm gonna say difficulty 4, which means you need to roll a 12 in order to defend yourself from it.
Okay.
If you want to apply effort, you can apply effort to it. If you don't know how that exactly works, just ask me. This is a game where we learn the Cypher system together, so that's no problem. I also want to kind of show off the easiness, like how easy the Cypher system can be. So
yeah, we can use the situation to explain that.
So a speed defense roll, most defense rolls are speed. So when I say difficulty 4, you multiply that by 3 to get the number on your d20 that you need to hit in order to succeed and defend from whatever is going to happen to you, right? You can ease that by applying a level of efforts, which eases the 4 by 1 step, so it becomes a 3. Multiply that by 3, it becomes a 9 to hit on your d20.
Okay.
If you have 2 effort levels, you can even apply 2 efforts. Spending 1 effort costs you 3 points from the pool you used to apply the effort to. So the speed pool, it costs you 3 points from your speed pool to apply that effort. If you have a skill or whatever that I don't know about,
I have...
or anything that you might think could work, I could ease it even further. So we started out with a 4.
I can break things. I can also understand magical artifacts in ciphers, but I don't think it applies here. Once I spend an effort, does it goes to 0 and it's spent and I have to gain it again, or I always have?
No. You deduct 3 points from your speed pool.
From my speed.
Yeah,
okay.
From your pool, not from your big number, but from your pool number. 3 points from that, which makes the difficulty of this roll a 3, which makes it a 9 to hit on your d20.
I don't know what to do.
Just roll a d20.
Yeah,
and hit a 9.
No, without effort. So I'm using my dice that I got from your Kickstarter, and it was a 13.
It was nice. It was a 13.
Yes.
Perfect. So you actually defend. So you want to press the intercom, and you notice right before you press it. That's why it's a speed roll, by the way. You notice this little spark of electricity coming out of it, and just in time, you know how to pull back. You know it was probably not going to kill you outright or something like that, but it was a bit of electricity. So you don't have any way, without hurting yourself, you don't have any way to communicate with your partner, or maybe you can find those walkie-talkies that I was talking about, which you didn't name walkie-talkies. You probably named them.
I would name it talking machine.
Talking machines.
Talking boxes.
Okay, Maximus, if you don't respond right now, I'm going to kick your ass.
Can I run to the cockpit? Would it take a long time?
Yeah, it takes a few rounds, so to speak. Yeah, it's a small spaceship. but spaceships are big, even small ones, right? So
But I think it would be easier for me to go running there instead of looking for the talking machine.
you can, if you want, you can make an intellect check.
Yes.
It's pretty difficult because you found these things a very long time ago. They were on a container that you shipped once, but the owner never ordered them. And it was like, here, take this. I cannot use it. This is a piece of crap from the past. So it's a pretty difficult roll. It's difficulty 6, which makes it an 18 to hits. But it is an intellect roll. So you can choose to apply effort, or if you have a skill that says I find crap or something like that.
I have 1 edge on intellect. Does it help me somehow?
It reduces the cost of spending effort. If you spend effort, it normally costs 3, but for you now, for intellect, it costs 2.
Yeah, I think I would do that.
Okay, and then the difficulty to roll becomes a 5, which makes it a 15 to
15.
Yeah.
It's still difficult. So I write now, I have 15 intellect. Is the big number on the poo. I don't think we put.
But you do realize that if you found both these walkie-talkies, there's no use.
It's not gonna work. That's what I wanted to ask, and that's also why I wanted to run to the cockpit.
I was just wondering
because
how
before
far
I do that, I wanted to ask: does he
dude.
have one, and I lost mine, or do I have to look for both of them? Because if I have to look for both of them, it makes no sense at all.
Knowing us, they're both still in the box.
They're just new in a box. They're like mint condition. They're worth millions of credits. There's like one collector somewhere on Venus who's like, whoa, this is the 1980 version of the Buzz Lightyear walkie-talkies. Wow.
Or Hello Kitty.
Something like that. No, you start running, right?
Yeah, I think.
Okay, perfect. I was literally just messing with you.
Okay.
Hey, if you found them, you could give them one to Lucan, and then afterwards.
Yeah, but we can do it later.
So you start running. Lucan, you are like talking into the intercom, and then behind you, so you are standing like next to your seat, right? To the left. And then to your right, the dashboard. I'm calling it dashboard. I don't know why, but that's what I'm calling it. That's what I'm going for. You see that this electricity that comes out of it kind of starts forming a little creature like this big. So for the people who are listening and not watching, as big as my hat, basically. A gremlin-sized creature that looks ridiculously a lot like a freaking gremlin. Made out of electricity. So the theme song from the Gremlin starts playing through the intercom. And that's not true, but would fit. Yeah, anyway. So there's a gremlin, an electric gremlin on your dashboard. And now is the time that we roll initiative. Which is something we roll against the level of the creature that I'm using, which is a level 3. So everybody who beats a 9 gets to act before the critter. Everybody who doesn't beat a 9 gets to act after it.
The one.
Oh, I have my first natural 20.
Nice.
My first natural 1.
Oh my god. A double intrusion thing. Okay, this is difficult for somebody who's never game mastered the Cypher System before. So a natural 1 means that you get a GM intrusion against you. If I'm not mistaken, you can also choose not to accept it, but then you're spending an XP. But if you, is that true, Lucan? Help me out here.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's probably
true.
Otherwise,
I don't think we have. I don't think we have some.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to say you started with 1 XP because there's only 2 of you. I wanted to like kind of give you a little boost, right? So you start with 1 XP. But we also have a player intrusion at level 20, at a natural 20, right?
Well, a major effect.
Yeah, a major effect. So, which is basically, so what I'm going to do first, and this is something that I learned from playing in exactly 1 Cypher game ever in my life, from the amazing YouTuber Quedup, or whatever, however you want to pronounce that, who is a Canadian, super friendly Canadian guy. He asks his players what happens. And then he decides if he goes along with that or just does his own thing. So I'm gonna go with, since the natural 20 is higher as the natural 1, I want to ask Lucan, what do you think that happens? What major effect might happen for you for rolling that 20 on your initiative?
Well, I'm assuming I'm not carrying my enhanced electro gun all the time.
I'm gonna say you have it on you.
Well,
is it like a big gun? Is the big gun or?
It's the big gun. It's like.
Yeah, you decide. You decide if you.
Well,
I mean, it's a major effect. You can decide.
Well, I would say it's in the corner, and I'm able to grab it, unload it, and start it before the creature can even move an inch.
Yeah, you make like this awesome roll over the table that has this hologram of your ship. And then in your roll, you grab your gun, put a new clip in it, if it works with clips, I don't know. And you go, boom, and you're full. What's the girl from Alien? What's his name? Ridley. Ridley, right? Ripley is somebody else. Okay, Ripley. And you're standing there in front of the thing, and then you get to act again, right? So basically giving you 2 actions. That's basically what happens. Because you're so fast that the Gremlin, which is a pretty fast creature, standing there. Regulo, Maximus, I'm getting to you after the creature acts, right? So think about what happens to you. It needs to be like something that hinders you, right? Because you rolled a 1. So the Gremlin creature sees you moving, Lucan, over the table, doing this kind of like this roll over the table, loading your gun, and then you're standing still in front of it, and it shoots. No, you're first. Sorry, you're first, Lucan. You can act again.
Well, I'll shoot it.
Yeah.
With electricity. I'm not sure if that's a wise idea, but I'm going to attack it.
Don't throw water on it. And don't feed it after midnight.
Don't throw water at him. Don't feed it after midnight.
That's speed, if I'm correct.
Yeah, it depends on your weapon, but most projectile weapons are speed based. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't apply anything to it, then it doesn't even matter what stat it is. You just roll.
And it's heavy ranged, so but I'm practiced with it, so I do not have any hindrance. Going to roll straight and apply no effort.
Okay.
That's a 17.
17 is a hit. From when you try to aim for it, you notice it kind of like blinks out of phase every now and then. It just goes to the right a little bit, it goes to the left a little bit, like a displacer beast kind of in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. So you notice it being really, really fast. It wasn't really noticeable in the initiative, but it was noticeable in right now that when you shoot it. You do hit it, so how much damage do you do?
Yeah, that's one I have to look up. So
is the medium
weapon?
Heavy weapon.
No,
that's
heavy.
6 damage. 6 damage.
6 damage,
yeah,
but 17 is plus 1 damage, if I'm correct.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, probably true. We're gonna say it's true.
Yeah.
So 7 damage to the creature.
Getting my cheat sheets.
So you shoot a projectile at the creature, and some sparks of electricity start flying off of the creature, but they also land on your control deck thingy here and there, kind of like interfering with everything that's happening, and your ship starts to like doing all kinds of rolls. And since there is a somewhat gravity in your ship, like fake gravity in your ship, you feel it rolling, right? Normally you wouldn't feel it in space, but you feel it because the gravity system is active right now, which is something your ship also has. You can toggle it on and off your gravity system. So you hit it for 7 damage, which is cool. You roll over the table. This creature now starts shooting electricity from its fingers. Starts shooting electricity at you, and you can make me a speed defense roll, please. The target number to hit is a 12.
Going to spend 1 level of effort on that.
Okay, and it becomes a 9.
13.
Okay, that's good. You defend from it. You kind of like duck out of the way, and these sparks of electricity just fly everywhere. But behind you, of course, there's also control panels, so it starts messing with everything. Your ship from your hologram ship at that table, that's now like only half, and then it's inside out, and then it's upside down. Then it blinks out of phase, and then it comes back in a pink color, and then it goes back out. It goes back in a purple color. All of that stuff goes on in the cockpit right now, which is a bad thing, which is something you don't want. Maximus, what happens to you? You're just like running through the hallway.
I'm running.
Yeah. But what happens?
Well, I'm running very fast, as I can, and then the ship starts to get unbalanced with the gravity, and I think I'm pretty well balanced, but I'm actually very clumsy, and plus the gravity, I start to stumble on my own feet, and then I fall on my face.
All right, cool. I'm gonna have you roll a let's see what a might defense check, an easy one. I'm gonna say it is almost. It's going to be a level 1, so it's a 3 to hit. Only a 3.
Okay. Come on, dice. 13.
Okay, so you do fall over somewhat, and you fall against another intercom. And from falling against it, you're just... And all that Lucan hears now is just... And then it goes out, and you take 1 damage to your might pool from a shock of electricity. And then you go back, and Lucan just hears swearing through the intercom while he's trying to blast this critter-like animal that is trying to shoot electricity at him. And it is Lucan's turn again. No, actually, Maximus, you can also do something if you want to do something, or if you want to keep running, you keep running.
I have just one question because I know Maximus is new to this game, very new. Does armor count for something?
Yes, but not for this damage.
Okay.
But it does count. Does Maximus has armor, right?
Yeah. Yes, a light one.
Yeah, 1 armor probably.
A second.
Yeah, indeed.
Okay, so if I do damage against you, where armor
no,
would
I
apply...
don't have. Wait. I don't have armor because I use ward.
Oh, yeah, you have to use it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, right now you don't have armor.
Okay.
Right now, no.
Okay,
Moving
perfect.
on.
So, Maximus, if there's anything you want to do outside of keeping running, I don't know.
I would. I think I would keep running to get there.
Okay.
Yeah. About the armor, I have to get back to you on that later.
Okay, Lucan, it is your turn, but you hear the artificial intelligence of your ship, who you haven't named yet. I'm gonna say she's called Egrid. Egrid, the artificial AI, the AI Egrid. And she's...
I would name her Mrs. Robinson. I don't know why. But Egrid is okay.
Egrid and Humphrey, they go together.
Yes.
Lucan, we have a situation. Please revert your attention to the hologram. And then you look at the table where the hologram is, and you see your ship, and then you see a somewhat smaller but more agile ship than yours, just only half a kilometer away from you, with the side of it to you and guns sticking out of it. And you know they're probably going to attack your ship. They're only like 1 turn or something away to start attacking your ship. So the first thing you probably think now is we need somebody in the turret, right? But you also have the critter still shooting electricity at you.
Yeah, I'm going to roll over the table again. Back to the comp.
just for the coolness factor.
Yes, of course. I will just hit the com and yell, "Get to the turrets as soon as possible."
Yeah, you're hearing that, Max. Get turrets, spaceship, shooting at us, electricity, Gremlin. And that's all you hear, basically, because everything is full of electricity right now. That is your turn, Lucan? So because you need to run towards the thingy and then do the thingy, so the gremlin just stands on your desk still, messing with everything. The stormtrooper bubblehead is next to it and it's still shooting electricity at you. So make me another speed defense roll, please.
Going to take that on straight. Oof, that's a 5.
That's a 5. It actually hits you for 3 points of damage to your might pool.
Yeah.
Which is a lot, of course. It's electricity damage, and you just get a shock as if you just touched a barbed wire from a fence where horses are kept, right? You get this big-ass shock, does 3 damage to your might pool. But that's its turn right now. So you now know that there's probably space pirates or something like that who kind of hacked into your system, which spawned this electricity thing, which is basically made out of your own electricity system. It's more a computer program than it is actually a living creature. That's what you make out of it right now. But you take the damage and it's still... So you are running and you're almost at the cockpit area.
I'm almost there.
And then you notice, and then you hear this voice, and then you go to the turret, and you just passed the ladder. It's like in Star Wars Episode 4, one of those ladders, like in Star Wars Episode 4, where you need to go up in order to go to the turret. And the Millennium Falcon, you can go up or down, but with this one, it's only up. There's a turret on top of the thing. So I'm gonna say this turn, it takes you one more turn to get into the turret. So you're climbing into the turret, strapping yourself in, switching on some stuff, and you got this. You're sitting behind this. It almost looks like one of those World War II airplane turrets. That's how old school this thing is. It's one of those turrets that has like just 2 guns sticking out of it, and you're in this dome almost made out of really thick glass that you could see 360 degrees around you, which is a really cool view from space. Every now and then you come here to just be at peace, right? Just to meditate, right? So, but that's your turn for and now. I don't, because you've been running all across the spaceship and you're tired as fuck, but it's Lucan's turn again.
Okay, just a second. My hair is gonna turn gray because I'm a little nervous, right?
Oh, okay, yeah. So your hair turns gray.
That's fine.
Yes.
By the way, you see this other spaceship coming at you really, really quickly.
Okay.
Yeah. I actually want to do 2 things, so I'm going to start with doing one thing, and that's to shoot that Gremlin thing again.
Awesome.
The other thing next turn. So I'm going to spend 1 level of effort.
Okay.
Still have points to spend. To ease that attack by 1.
Mm-hmm. Which makes it a level 3, which makes it a 9 to hit.
And holy crap, I'm going to spend an XP to get that natural 1 off the table.
Okay.
And reroll for 7.
7 is not enough. You actually miss the gremlin. I'm calling it an electrical gremlin because it has no real name, but right now. But you shoot it, and you actually shoot against the window right now, and it's just like this little crack in the window, and you're like, whoops. And that's basically the natural 1 you rolled. You made a crack in the window. Yes, we do not ignore natural rolls in this game. You get to spend an XP to reroll, but the natural 1 remains. So the critter is going to shoot another bolt of electricity at you, so you can make another speed defense roll, please. Difficulty 12.
Going to not spend that. I don't have a lot of speed left. 14.
That is a hit. Yeah, that's a hit. How much damage do you do? What was it?
No. You attacked
Oh,
me.
sorry, I hit you. Sorry. Oh, shit. Whoops. That's another 3 damage. That's another 3 damage to your might. Another shock. You're getting shocked today. You have already 6 damage, if I'm not mistaken. Please remember that you can take a 1 action rest which takes you 1 action, which is kind of like a second win from the fighter ability from 5th edition, and you can kind of heal some stuff then. So please remember that. So you shoot the thing, you miss the thing, you shoot a crack into the window, the thing shoots you, it doesn't miss you, it shoots a bolt of electricity in your freaking face. Then finally, Maximus, you have this 3-point safety seatbelt on, you got your thing like loaded up, you got actually 2 triggers for your 2 guns, it's like turning, it's greased up, and you're ready, and this thing is coming at you. It's pretty far still,
Okay.
but it's coming at you. So the first
I have
thing
a
you
question
yeah
before we go further.
yes
I could spend an XP to get a player. What's it called? Ah, no.
a player intrusion.
Yes. Which would give me, if I find, just a sec, I have to navigate my PDF again.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's something from the Adept show. It's called Convenient Idea. If I spend an XP, I would get a flash of insight that would provide me with a clear answer or suggest a course of action with regard to an urgent question, problem, or obstacle I'm facing.
Okay, perfect.
So I think maybe that would be a situation for now. Yeah.
Okay, so you are about to start firing at this ship, right? But then you notice you really look at the ship that's coming at you, and you notice that it kind of has rocket pods on the side, which are like it shoots old school, almost like rockets, like an Apache helicopter, physical rockets, not like laser shooting things, but it shoots freaking rockets that come guided missiles, basically. So you figure out, which was something you were going to figure out later, that it might be a better idea to shoot the rockets
instead of shooting the big ship.
Instead of shooting the big ship, and hoping that your pilot gets you out of the situation, or they shoot all of their rockets and you deflect all of them. That's basically your insight right now. So if you wanna shoot you can now choose to shoot either one of the rockets, because you see one. Right when you wanted to pull the trigger, you're like, nope, I'm gonna wait a second until they fire, and you're just like waiting them out. So it's up to you. Are you going to wait them out and shoot a rocket, or do you want to like target a specific part of the spaceship, which is now bigger to you because they're kind of coming in with the sides of the spaceship towards you, because that's where the guns are for them?
I think I'll try to hit one of the rockets that are attached to the machine in the hopes that it makes more damage to the
Okay,
spaceship.
perfect. Do that. Yeah. Okay, you can make an attack roll, a speed attack roll for me.
Okay.
Sorry, you can actually... No, sorry, you're in the turret. You can actually choose to also use your intellect instead.
Okay, then I would.
Because this is more of...
I have one edge on it.
This is more of a piloting thing. More like playing a video game than actually shooting a physical rifle, right? That's more what you're doing right now.
Does the edge of the intellect helps in some?
It only helps when you spend effort.
Okay. What's the difficulty of the shooting?
The difficulty, the number, in the Cypher system, normally you know that, So the number you need to hit right now is still pretty high because they're still pretty far away. So you need to roll a 15. So it's difficulty 5 in order to hit.
I think I would
like it's a difficulty. I'm gonna say it's a difficulty 4 to hit a random part of the ship, but it's difficulty 5 to hit a specific part of the ship.
I would spend an effort for that. And now I
that
need
makes it a
somebody.
4.
And
so
what about the edge?
So you now only spent 2 points of your intellect instead, because you have 1 edge. Your edge just is deducted from the cost for that. So it makes it easier for you to do intellectual stuff than somebody who might be bulky and do it with might, right? But another thing I wanted to say was I completely forgot what I wanted to say. Introducing red line maneuvers really quickly. Now that you are in the spaceship and you're actually doing something with the spaceship, red line maneuvers are something that normally you get a player intrusion, you get a GM intrusion on a 1, right? But if you choose to use a red line maneuver, the thing you're doing will be eased one more step. So it's now become a difficulty 4 because you spent effort. If you do a red line maneuver, it becomes a 3, right? Mm-hmm. But it also increases the chances of you getting a GM intrusion. So a bad thing happening to you, a somewhat inconvenient thing happening to you. That's a red line maneuver. In the case of a turret on a ship, you shoot if you shoot it for too long, it overheats, right? It has this overheating thing. But when you do it too long, it overheats and it needs to cool down. So the red line maneuver is just you focusing on one part, right? And just squeezing the trigger until it overheats, basically. Just like give them the full 9 yards. That's what you're doing.
No, for now I think I would try normally. So it would be 4 because of the effort now. So
yes.
12?
Yes.
Oh god, let's see. 16.
Sorry, what?
16.
Okay, so you are in the turret, strapped in. You just load your gun. You're and there's like this physical bullets come out of the gun. It's not blaster bolt, it's not electricity, it's not Star Wars, it's freaking physical bullets that you loaded yourself with your bare hands, like one by one. You fitted like 4,000 shells in there, and you're just and you shoot it all the way until the red line, and then you just hold off a second just to like make it cool down, and you actually hit one of the rockets on the rocket pod of the ship, and it explodes, destroying one of the 4 rocket pods that are on the ship. So it's kind of like an Apache helicopters, 2 rocket pods, each containing like 12 or so rockets, 2 on each side of the ship that are just waiting to be shot at you, but you destroy one, gives a small explosion, the ship goes to the left a little bit, and you're happy. You're happy, Max.
Happy Max.
I don't know, your hair does something, but
just before the hair, for the effort, I have one effort. Then I have to deduct it from the one that I spent now, or do I always have this one effort?
No. So you spent effort to decrease the difficulty of 1 roll. So that goes out of your intellect pool.
Okay. Then I did it right.
You don't want to go to 0 for a pool.
I know that I remember.
Okay, yeah.
Freddie told me that.
So it goes out of your intellect pool.
My head is happy now.
But it's only 2 for you since you have that edge, and your effort level is 1, which means you can only apply 1 level of effort every time. If it becomes 2, you can apply 2. Which makes shit really easy to do and awesome. And that's why in the Cypher system, even a level 1 character, if they spent the XP and they spent effort and they spent stuff and they have the right skill, they can do like godlike stuff even in tier 1, right? Every now and then, just by accident, they do something really cool. That's how the Cypher system works. Lucan, it is your turn. You hear the sweet sound of a machine gun, almost like a German machine gun, an M52 or 42, what is it called, from World War II. It's shooting in space, just so you know a Maximus is doing his thing up there in the turret, but you're still dealing with this critter that's trying to kill you with electricity, basically.
Yes, but knowing that there is something there, so I have a wrist computer that's came with the ship.
Okay, a wrist computer. A smartwatch, basically.
Smartwatch, yes. And I say, hey, Ygritte.
Hi, Lucan.
Please initiate evasive maneuvers.
Evasive maneuvers initiated. Please be advised that a real-life pilot will also always be better in these circumstances. And then it starts doing like I don't know, a U-turn and a barrel roll, all this like basic stuff that the space pirates know, but it might just help. Maximus, you're of course in your turret, turning all like trying to keep track of, and then every now and then the space pirates ship that goes under your ship, which puts it completely in a blind spot for you, and then it comes back up on the other side. And you're trying to follow it with your machine gun.
So mechanically, what it does is I actually have to roll a roll for that, but it should ease the defense by 3 steps, but also makes it 3 steps harder for Maximus to attack.
Sorry, again? Oh, yeah. So the evasive maneuvers from the AI makes everything, makes the defense of the ship 3 times higher, but Maximus shooting stuff makes it 3 times harder.
Yep.
Okay. So Maximus, yeah, you're just sitting there shooting stuff. Also, if there's people listening who are purists in like space, how that works with like real bullets and all of that stuff,
Forget it.
I don't care. Just keep it for yourself. We're shooting German machine guns in space. That's going to be the name of this RPG: German machine guns in space. So yeah, Lucan, you activate this. The evasive maneuver thing, which is really great that you're doing that. So the ship does all kinds of basic stuff, and this gremlin is still shooting at you. So it's going to give you another defense roll to make, and I hope you make it.
That's 15 I need to get.
No, 12.
12.
Mm-hmm.
That's 10.
Ah! You take another 3 points of damage. That's 9 damage.
Yeah.
To your might pool. I don't know how much might you have, but it's not going to be a lot anymore, I think.
No, it's not a lot. It's not a lot.
So it keeps shooting electricity and bouncing through the cockpit and just hanging from the ceiling, like gremlins do in your Christmas tree, all of that stuff. And then Maximus, it's your turn. What do you do? So you got like this evasive maneuver starts happening, which makes you really happy. Like you want to get out of this situation more than you want to shoot a spaceship, basically. But you can still try to shoot it, or I don't know. By the way, now they start. You can see they're really like trying to line up. It's becoming this dogfight thing, right? Mm-hmm. They're trying to line up in order to shoot, to lock on you and shoot a guided missile in your face.
I'm really happy.
I can give you the opportunity also to, if you want to like focus this round, you can ease your roll next round.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just something I like. Yeah,
I think it would make sense. Okay, because I'm very happy. My hair is now yellow, so the color of happiness.
There's just space pirates behind you with rocket pods, but you're happy.
But I'm happy. I shot one of the missiles, so yeah. I'm gonna focus on the next one. And I would do like that if I would. I don't know if it's called hold an action or stuff like that, but something like this to focus on the ship. And if I see that they are going to fire one of them, that I aim to the one that they are firing so it doesn't hit us.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So you're like putting a gun all the way to the back, to the tail of the ship, and you're just like keeping your crosshairs on one of the rocket pods, and you're like, fire, you son of a bitch. Fire, you son of a bitch. Bring it on, you son of a bitch. And it's still waiting for them to line up, and you're almost hoping for them to lock on to your ship. Like, you want to shoot one of the rockets. That's how you focused you are right now. You're like, I want this opportunity to shoot a rocket out of the freaking space. Lucan, your turn.
Yeah, I'm going to try to shoot at the gremlin again.
All right.
Come on. I'm going to spend 1 level of effort before rolling to hit it. So then I'm getting. Actually, no, not going to spend. Not going to do that.
Okay.
That would be unwise. would be very unwise. $14?
Yes, you hit the Gremlin for how much damage did you do?
Six damage.
Yeah, 6 damage, which actually kills it. It splatters all across the cockpit and shoots electricity bolts into every system you know. And you feel your artificial intelligence, Egret, you feel her just like, she's like, Lucan, there seems to be a power. And then almost everything powers down outside of like the basic controls of the ship. So you don't have any navigation, the hologram on the table is gone. All you have are just your flaps to the right, your flaps to the left, which doesn't happen in space. I know, I don't care. And you're just like flying completely manual and solo. If you want to go to the pilot seat. So I'll give you the opportunity to go sit in the pilot seat for this round. So you're like, oh shit! And you just jump into the pilot seat, strap yourself in, because that's what you're used to. Just always put your seatbelt on, ladies and gentlemen. And then it is basically, normally it would be the Gremlin's turn, but that's now electricity that's back into your system, just in the wrong places. And then a rocket is being fired from the space pirate's ship, and you hear this faint sound, Lucan, in your desk thing. You hear it beep 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 beep, and the long beep, of course, means that something locked onto your ship. So there is a rocket on the way, and it takes 2 turns actually to reach your ship, which gives Maximus 2 opportunities to actually shoot it. So Maximus, it's your turn. Do you want to shoot a rocket out of space?
I want to shoot a rocket out of space.
It is a rocket that is doing like this, and you're still in like evasive maneuver kind of. Okay, the artificial intelligence broke down, but it's still the plane was rolling, so it's probably still on some kind of roll, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. You're just trying to shoot it. So it's not an easy roll, so it's going to be a difficulty 5 again, which is a 15 to hit.
Okay. Oh my god, what do I do?
It's difficult. It's difficult. Again, you can spend either speed or intelligence for the turrets. Because the turrets, Lucan was away for that. The turret is more like playing a video game than it's actually shooting a rifle or something like that.
Yeah, I would use intelligence for that. Okay, so I will.
You're spending
roll it.
efforts?
No.
Okay.
Not this time. That's not good. And it wouldn't have helped. It's a 1.
That's another intrusion. So, you don't have XP to not accept my intrusion. So,
No.
I'm going to give you an intrusion, but then you get an XP. You both get an XP, by the way. I forgot that last time, I think, but now I'm giving you an XP. You both get an XP after this happens, right? So let's see. You're shooting at this thing, right? But I'm gonna say you actually hit one of your own engines.
Oh no.
There is a safety system where the gun doesn't go as low as your own engine. But when you're doing the right maneuver, the time that the bullet flies and that the plane moves might move your plane into the bullet. So the safety system isn't perfect. So you shoot one of your engines. One of your engines is now slightly damaged, just like smoke coming out of it, which, Lucan, you cannot feel this. There's nothing wrong with the plane, with steering or whatever. But Maximus, your vision is now blurred because there's smoke and fire. Also, there's smoke and fire. So you're now in an intrusion. Do you want to go put out the fire, or do you want to keep shooting the rockets?
Red!
So your hair turns red again, and it is Lucan's turn. So you're like, and then through the intercom, I hit something, and then it's Lucan's turn.
Yeah, by the way, a natural 1 is a free GM intrusion, so you don't have to give a...
I'm giving XP. I'm giving XP.
Yeah, I'm taking them. Just want
take the XP. Because there's only 2 of you, I'm going to give you somewhat more XP than the system normally allows. Also, the system says do whatever the fuck you want, so I'm giving you XP because you guys are also just doing awesome stuff. So yeah.
But it's for the listeners at home.
Oh shit! Yeah, there's listeners. Hi, listeners.
Hello.
Actually, just having fun with Cypher System, but.
Okay, going to look in what we can do with piloting the system. So I can do invasive maneuvers, increase separation, decrease separation, stealth approach. I think it's way too late to have a stealth approach.
Let's do a stealth approach to Earth.
Or try to lose the enemy craft. Maybe we should try to lose the enemy craft.
Yeah, you can also make your own stuff up, by the way. Okay, you want to lose the enemy craft. What does that exactly mean? Because that's, of course, what you're trying to do.
We need to roll against their level with our level of ship, which I know it's a level 3. So
okay, losing them now will be hindered by 1 level because you are really visible because you have a engine which is fueled by hydrogen, and hydrogen, I don't know if you know it, but it burns like a motherfucker, and it is just a big ball of fire with smoke coming out of it, so it is hindered by a level. It's already really difficult to lose them because it is a very healthy space pirate ship with rockets and all that jazz going on, so it is a pretty high level ship with a good pilot, which makes it all quite difficult, near impossible, but right now I'm gonna say technically it's impossible, if you know what I mean. So it's at least a level 7, which is technically impossible because that's a 21 to hit.
Yeah, but I'm trained in piloting, so
yeah, of course, help. Yeah, that eases. So that it hinders, but it also eases. So it neutralizes that.
And I'm going to spend 1 level of intellect effort because I have points in that pool left.
So then it becomes a level 6.
Whoa, that's an 18. Yeah, I said was going to do it. I'm going to.
So you're trying to lose an enemy ship with a burning ship.
And I'm not kidding you. It's a natural 20.
Oh my god. Buy other dice. Okay, a natural 20. So what do you think happens? How do you want to lose this ship?
So actually, I'm going to break. Which doesn't make sense in space, I know, but nothing makes sense in space.
No, nothing actually.
Until they almost hit us, and then I'm going to start because I noticed someone did hit something.
Yeah.
And the moment I break, I start seeing some slivers of smoke.
Mm-hmm.
So the moment we start again, the engine burns extra, and all the soot goes onto their bridge, so they don't see anything.
Haha, you're blurring their vision. Okay, yeah, that
You're welcome.
I'm allowing that. So you're just like flying, and then you're just turning, and then you got this brilliant idea. Just hit the handbrake, right? And you just, I don't know. You don't have any systems to know when they're almost near you, because all of your systems are going haywire on you right now. So with your pure instinct, you're like 1, 2, 3, boom, hitting the afterburner. But the afterburner comes through this wrong hole in the engine, not through the back, but through the side, completely blows your entire engine up. So you're only flying on 1 engine. Good news, your plane can fly on 1 engine, but not well, but it can. And it blows all of these smithereens of the engine, all of the bolts and pieces and bits towards the window of the other thing, which you can't see, but you start flying away. And Maximus, you are actually seeing all of this happen in space, and they are still going, they're still flying, they're still healthy, they're still doing their thing, but you seem to be getting away from them. But then shit actually starts to hit the fan, because you still have your engine has blown up. So now you have a fire and a hole in your ship. So your ship starts to get completely out of control. To make matters worse, the electricity and like the electronics of the ship that happened from the Gremlin all start to make effect and start make bridges that aren't supposed to happen, and your plane starts to go into like a spin and all that stuff, and it's completely out of control. Lucan, you take the steering wheel and turn it to the right, and the ship actually does nothing anymore. So there's actually nothing going on. So you had controls for just long enough to make sure to get away, but now you're just spiraling out of control. And from the Maximus is actually your first front row ticket to shit hitting the fan, because you're seeing this from a nice dome, and you're seeing the ninth world itself, Earth, coming closer, and you're actually going into the atmosphere of Earth, and you just and every time when you land on Earth, which doesn't really happen a lot, it is a shitty situation. Landing on Earth from space is not fun because of the atmosphere and all of that. It starts burning, it's always hot, but this time it's even worse. So that's why I said earlier, you guys are trained in putting your seatbelts on. Yes, you have your seatbelt on. It's like a scene from Armageddon, right? And you're just crashing into Earth, and then everything goes blank, and that's the end of this session. Thank you so much for watching or listening to our first stream of the Cypher Boys. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed playing it, and if you want to support what we do, feel free to buy us a cup of coffee or a cup of tea using the link below. Add the name of this stream, Cypher Boys, to your message, and the money will be evenly split between the three of us.